Welcome back, friends, to Occultists Anonymous, episode 148. Sponsored by Roll20, the Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you guys very much for your support. It does mean a lot to us. I'm glad you guys are here. But we left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so let's get right back to it. But first, our patrons. You thought I was going to forget. Thank you to Adele, Al, Alan Michael, Alexander, Algos, Bernie, Blood Angel, Brendan, Chris, Doc, Emil, Funzo Surali, George, Howards and Signs and Wards, Jack, James, Jenny, John, Josh, Julian, Cat Feathers, Crazy Man, Melissa, Michael, Milo V3, Moku, Neomegas, Noba, Other Michael, Perry, Puppeteer, Ramon, Rovisgrad, Ryan, Sebastian, Cinna, Terry, Thomas, Usuf-sama, Vortex, Woodfoot, and Zoltan. Thank you guys for your support. It does mean a lot to us. And a quick reminder, if you want to do that too, you can sign up on Patreon. And there is the option to do the 12-month subscription, which is an upfront one-time thing, but then you only pay for 10 months. So if that's a thing that you're interested in, cool. Save you some money, and we get a big chunk up front, which is kind of cool. Righto. Yeah, so when we last left the Cabal, they were in an ordinary warehouse. Got around to the back of it and choked out unsuccessfully, and then magicked out someone, probably a mage, because they had some kind of attainment, and they crumpled to the floor and determined that these guys are collecting objects of interest from what you guys had seen all of North America. Atreides pocketed a Lakota carving of some form, and then they went and approached and checked out this pyramid that has a key for, put the key underneath and I opened a portal. And Songbird says, I don't need no key. Yes, and to make it clear, the idol being picked up, or the carving picked up, was something we mentioned in Discord. We're just, yes, try to grab that.
Oh, it's potency based.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. Yeah, you can bypass the conditions, freeing the magic to do that which it would. Object or spell immediately activates exactly as though it were triggered by whatever normally triggers the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Activation roll is normally required. Treat the spell's potency as rolled successes.
Mm-hmm. It requires mana. You must spend it from your own pool. Without additional, can only do supernal spells and objects tied to supernal worlds, such as artifacts and imbued items. Cool. If you want to just throw Gnosis plus Prime at that, because there's no withstand or anything. You are muted.
I'm going to bump it to potency.
Oh, okay.
So if it requires rolled successes, it will be an exceptional success.
Cool. All right. So yes, you cast a spell, which, I mean, you've got enough reach for it. You don't have to be standing adjacent to it. And the very top of the pyramid just starts to, looks like a tear or a split that just kind of opens upward. And you have a 10-foot wide portal, not centered on, but, well, horizontally centered on the pyramid. The pyramid is now half on one side, half on the other. On the other side of said portal, you see what, I'm trying to think of the best descriptors. It would appear to be underground. It does not have any kind of natural light coming in. The surfaces appear to be some kind of pale gray stone. Mattersight reveals it is, just standard stone. It's not adamas or anything like that. That would be very, odd.
Is this visible to everybody?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We can all see through the portal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so effectively it takes the reach for everybody can see it, and the 2-dimensional portal. And pops that open. You can see, and we'll call it a cavern for, because you can see a overtop roof of it. And it is, stone and such like that. And it is made to look like natural stone. You can see some steps are worn in, literally from the other side of where this pyramid is laying. And that kind of step down in and amongst some other stuff. It is dark, though. There's a little bit of light coming from the warehouse out into the space, but not enough to really make out much other than some other distant rock and outcroppings. You can see in a couple places stone that has been flattened, and again, you can definitely tell this place is artificial. I think probably with your various matter sites, or actually space tells you that this is a pocket dimension. So there's everything here is artificial in some way, unless somebody literally picked up an entire fucking cavern. But yeah, amongst the bits of rock and stuff like that, and this place continues back quite a distance. You see sections of stone that are flattened and kind of set up as some look like a very classic like plinth to put a little object on, pedestals. Others are just kind of flattened out and given little sconces, little niches to set objects in. Most everything is kind of heavily shadowed. But the place, besides the obvious like pocket dimension spell, you don't see anything else. And a smattering of similar objects to what is here behind you.
We can't see everything that's in there, right?
No. This place,
Okay.
to match, like, this is clearly like the maximized scale. Like, this is a campus-sized, huge place.
Okay. I'm going to give us some night vision.
Okay. Exceptionally so.
Got plenty of reach at this point, so instant touch and duration.
Yep. Yeah, with forces. Yeah. Cool.
So, in we go.
Step through.
I think so.
Okay. What was
Step
that,
through.
Craig? Okay, step through. Yep. So 1, 2, 3.
Do we close it behind us?
It is currently
Can we
open.
close it behind us?
It is not in your spell control.
Yeah.
Is it not?
No, it's the imbued item. Oh, but you can remove the trigger, right? By canceling the spell, you remove the trigger.
Because
I mean,
Weird can just take us home from in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
theoretically.
I like the idea of closing the door behind us so that when they show up, we're just gone. They'll probably be able to figure out where we went if they think about it, but it's not as obvious. If they know what it does, yeah.
Yeah, so you should just be able to end the spell with put the key in place, and that should close it again right away.
So I think it depends on whether it is a relinquished imbued item.
Right, because it's the creator that has the ability to play with spell control. I'm trying to remember.
It's relinquished. It's relinquished, then it goes under the users.
Can spend mana. Always requires mana. Oh, that's true. You do have to deduct 1 mana because activating an imbued item. But I mean, yeah, you're just so hurting for that.
I mean, I don't have a ton.
Wow, it really doesn't mention who has spell control over that spell. Cool. So yeah, we can actually. Oh right, it because it has a set spell factor because it is a relinquished spell, so it activates for a certain time. Yeah, so the door is open. I will let Weird know for sure that the spell is open for about 10 turns.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so through the door.
So
Yep.
30 seconds?
Yeah, we should get
Yep.
through the door.
Yep. So yeah, step through with your night vision and I imagine wait until the door shuts, make sure nobody shows up. Question, Mr. Suit. Leave
Sleep
him
on
there.
the floor.
Okay.
Sleep on the floor.
Okay, cool. What was the duration on that, by the way? It's like a long duration.
Long.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Rip Van Winkle status.
Cool. So
Whatever forced. Yeah, a month.
Okay, yeah, that's right, because it's a duration spell. Yeah, stepping through, waiting and watching the portal just close. The pyramid is no longer there. And you're in this cavern looking on the other side of the portal. More of this, gray stone wall. You are at the entrance of this complex. Looking around now, especially because you have night vision, you can see that this chamber leads down some stairs to a first set of various different objects. There are stairs that lead elsewhere, tunnels that lead up, and it definitely has the feel of a warren or a cave complex. But very, we'll kind of go that direction. It's very Minecraft in the fact that this is very natural and but very clearly not natural. Like somebody who's doing their best imitation, and it looks pretty good, but there's just a couple different things that are just too convenient. Which I mean, I'm not going to complain too much about it, but.
Are there any wards or alarms or anything up?
There do not appear.
I ask Songbird.
Yeah, Prime Sight shows you the only spell that you can see here is
where we are.
Is Pocket Dimension. Yeah,
Which
I would suggest not dispelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned my lesson.
Do you want to? Can you do a locate objects? Help us get there quickly, because I don't really want to linger in this.
No, for sure. Craig doesn't remember. Do we know what form this last grimoire takes?
No, but we know the
But then, I can't do a locate object. I don't think without knowing what it is.
Correct.
I mean, I feel like I've done that.
If you knew what you were looking for,
you've done that with a generic object,
I need
what the form
knife.
was, or what the material was
grimoire.
made of.
Because we know it's a grimoire. We know the nimbus of the person who did it. So, we know quite a bit about this grimoire. I feel like you should be able to say that the one that has this nimbus on it.
Yeah, because like you said, or like the spell says even, you could be like my knife as opposed to somebody else's knife.
Oh, detect substance. Could I add some prime into detect substance to sort of
magic.
add that purview of grimoires and
I mean, yeah,
crafted things.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those you could probably both do and approach from two different angles. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like saying this specific Archmage's grimoire should work.
Or, a grimoire with this particular nimbus on it.
Yeah.
The only, we'll see how well it works, but only possible complication is that these things don't have connections.
Well, we know that there's a connection to the other grimoires.
But that only shows
Sort
up
of.
when the grimoires are present together.
Yeah.
So we have Songbird trying to work out a Detect Grimoires spell. We have Atratus doing a Locate this particular grimoire spell. Weird, what do you...
That was weird. Look at object space, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. I was also thinking Detect Substance, but yeah, that's true. It would be Locate Object with space, potentially. I said...
I can also do it.
multiple ways. I'm just trying to figure out what everybody is up to as you guys step through.
Well, have we determined that a locate object would work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Locate Object calls out that you can specify, hey, this particular thing. And if it's there, you can find your way to it.
All right.
Now, if you do Locate Object and have it within the scale that you set, within the area of effect, you can know exactly where it's at. With the reach, if it's outside that, it won't tell you right where it's at, but it will direct you towards it. Yep.
Yeah, detect substances for things that fall under matter's purview.
Sure.
And I don't know if this does, because we don't know what it is.
You don't know what it's made of, right? Now, if it's another, glass jar of lightning, then
But, Judd wouldn't have fallen under this, because he's a person and alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the subject for that, so I don't need any transfer or anything like that, right?
Got 4 dice.
Yep. And plenty of reach. Cool. All right.
Hooray.
Waiting on Weird real quick. Excuse me.
I don't need any potency, or could it be shielded?
Because that's always a concern is with wards and signs. If it was shielded, behind a wards and sign, it would reduce the potency. So that is always a concern. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and scale is basically just a question of, do you want to know right where it's at, or would you rather just have a compass that points you towards it?
That was my thought too.
Large warehouse?
No, campus. This place is huge.
Okay. Yikes.
Accurate. Now, actually, for space, you can. You have plenty of reach. Never mind. As I say, but that's sensory range. Never mind. If mana was if reach was a concern, but all right, and that's.
I'm actually overreaching by. I did that wrong. I'm actually overreaching by 1.
Hang on, how much space do you have? 4?
Mm-hmm.
So
you have 4 reach.
So you have 4 reach.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just a
one-dot spell.
Space 1 spell. So 11 minus 10, 10, 13. Sure. And no paradox.
Whew.
3 successes. Cool. So, Weird, you know, without a doubt, that this grimoire is above you. Maybe a 15, 20-minute hike. Straight up.
All right.
Looking up, night vision, nope, that's a solid ceiling. And then, because what spell were you effectively doing, Chris?
Detect substance.
Okay.
And then
right.
adding in prime.
Right. So, you do, using the life web spell that we've, used before, you do that big radar ping of this entire area. And yeah, grimoires up and a high concentration of them.
Cool. I have duration on that as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So between the two of you,
if we go this way, do we end up getting closer to it?
Yep. Ye classic MMO waypoint.
Yep. How do I get there?
Well, I can solve that right away.
Can you make us like a sparkly trail on the ground to lead us there?
What is Craig up to?
Space magic.
Just throwing an inward-outward eye on us.
Ah, okay.
So basically, we can see.
Oh, Jesus.
The paths.
You see a lot of caves,
little tunnels and shit.
Yeah. It expands out. And initial glance, you're like, okay, yeah, this lays out, and then you start to realize that there are paths that no person could walk. There are some places. Well, you are effectively on a lower level. Like I said, there's a ton of space. So this is kind of like Where's Waldo on crack, because you're talking about, congratulations, you can see the entire college campus, but it's not spread out flat. It's probably folded over in thirds. And it is this enormous complex. You're at this bottom level, which doesn't seem to have all too many objects laid out. And there's a couple different chambers that are linked up. And then there are some chambers that it's a tunnel that leads upward. There are no handholds. There are no elevators. It's a tunnel that goes up.
All right. So that should allow us to map out the maze and get a path up.
If you want to sit and look over everything, you could definitely eventually come out with a map and go, we need to go here, up there, this way, that way, and plot it out ahead of time, or you can just kind of wing it. It definitely looks like I said, it's a warren. There's a lot of different paths to move through here. And like I said, it is likely to be a bit of a hike. There's some ways that, between space and time that can speed up your walking, but it's probably more than a mile away.
Yeah.
I'm also curious to see things on the way.
Yeah.
There may be things worth stealing. Yep.
Okay.
Traps to dodge.
I'm worried, but okay.
Yeah. Well, and the big thing is you can plot out a path and see a lot of stuff, but until you're
I want to get us short term. I want to get us out of this immediate area and off of this level.
Sure. Which very easy.
I was just gonna start trying to find a path up.
Yep.
And we can work from there.
Yep. So you guys quickly make your way down the steps and down into that kind of first open chamber. Walk down and getting a little bit closer. Obviously, Grimoire radar says none of these are grimoires, but looking at them, there are various objects in various states, but just using the one off the top of my head that I mentioned that were in nice little niches, they look like Fabergé eggs. Absolutely ornate. They're probably not quite actually eggs, I can't remember what the proper term is, but like the orb that whatever kings and queens hold, various little objects. Yes.
With Inward Out, I can see the grimoire that I keep my tracking on.
Mm-hmm.
It's very far away, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But is it effectively sensory range?
I mean, I thought we determined that if something is far away, you can't see it.
Well, it's if it were just inward outward eye, yes. But the fact that between locate object and inward outward eye, be like, I need that spot right there. Yep. So technically, yes, the grimoire is within sensory range.
Okay.
So the chamber that you're talking about looks like, and it's something that you guys can definitely notice as you look at the spell, look at everything, and kind of trying to map out this complex. The upper levels, as you go up, look less stone, and the very top level where this grimoire is a rustic, like wood log, not a cabin, but paneled walls. It has a kind of almost, well, actually the space that the grimoire is, because you can focus your eyes on that, appears to be like a library. There is a couple large, like comfy chairs. There's actually a big circle emblazoned with a iron seal smack dab in the middle of it. That would be perfect for working, say, seer themed magics.
I want to see the other grimoires though. Like maybe some of them are also breathtaking.
It is a library. Like it is, yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff up there.
Oh, I do want to look at these orbs.
Sure.
With like my mage sights on.
Yeah. A quick glance. They appear to be a set of 5. They don't appear to be magical. Not supernally so. But I guess technically, by looking at Prime Sight, you actually don't know that. But they appear just to be like nice little, some kind of treasure that has been collected, and getting close.
I unplugged my headphone.
Oh, we'll wait a second. Are you back now?
Okay.
Okay, now she's back. So
I stepped on my cord.
Whoops. But yes, looking at the, they don't appear to be magical. They are just absolutely exquisite. And getting closer, and this is some of the detail that you kind of lose when you're trying to look at an enormous complex. But you can see in the stone, kind of right amongst all this stuff, are some factoids about it, where they were found, stuff like that, and no mention of, well, there's no mention of them being supernatural in any way, but it looks like some write-up of, some artisan somewhere made top quality, but that's it.
We wanted them because they're very nice.
Mm-hmm. Or, looking at some of the other stuff, maybe this was magical and they got it and really inspected it and went, it's not. Oh, well, it goes in the vault. And I think I heard a spell. All right. So, reach. We're casting collocate, I guess, with that.
It's an advanced skill.
Okay. Sure.
I'm having a dilemma because they're not magical, but I do like Fabergé eggs.
You have a moment to think about it. What yantras are you using, by the way, Craig?
Shadow name and my crystal.
Sure. Cool. Go ahead and roll your 11 plus 5, 16.
16.
Cool.
I'll take it.
One
Cool.
success.
Roll Gnosis plus base. Cool. You fail.
Okay. Warded. Do I have an idea why I failed?
You autofill
I mean,
clash rules
it
against dark
clashed.
mages.
Clashed against something.
It clashed against something,
Right.
and yeah, I will, more narratively, you're used to clashing things, and there's this push and shove and resistance, and sometimes you hit stuff that's like, that's a big wall, but maybe I can get through. This was like driving your car into a like cement wall, and you just went
All right.
wham! Oh,
Okay, so
now they know.
That's I can't do a shortcut.
But
Can I-
also, like, they know we're here because they would have felt that, right?
they would have known a spell has clashed.
Time's ticking.
Could I, along a similar line of how I been primed for this art thing, could I do Craftsman's Eye?
To
With so it's got a couple reach options
Mhm.
For how to use an examined object, and then another one for revealing all the potential uses of something.
Oh, right.
So if I have Prime weaved into that, I'm kind of imagining at a glance, this thing can be used as an imbued item this way.
Mm-hmm. What is the end result that you're wanting to get? I'm trying to make sure that
Being able to look at things as we're walking by and be like, deciding what to steal spell.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, to identify, basically on a glance, identifying imbued objects as you go. Oh boy. I definitely need to find a way to pump the brakes on that, but doable. I think this is going to end up being similar to some of the fate and space spells where you have to actually inspect the object.
Well, it even says focusing on a particular use might require a reflexive wits plus composure roll for complex items.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think an
like
imbued
that.
item is definitely that. Yeah. So yeah, you could definitely do that. Because
so at a glance might be like, hey, that's like that draws your eye maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I want to spend time to focus on it.
Yep.
That seem
Yeah.
fair? Okay.
I threw a quick ground eater.
Okay. Which is not clashed. And Ground Eater, how much? This is a potency spell? I think it is. I love that spell.
Potency, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys immediately gain 5 speed. Which nearly doubles, I think, your guys' normal speed.
Yep. That was mine. So you know in the horror movies when the
12.
corridor gets longer? Except for us, all the corridors now get shorter.
Right.
Is it because my dex is so high?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now it's 17. So I'm like a car.
Sort of. And you're muted. And that's... that's your
I have
Craftsman
one
Eye.
less free reach actually.
I just want a point of reference for what speed 17 means.
I need some
in short, speed basically turns out to yards or meters per turn. Cool. So we've got a little paradox. Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna spend 3 mana.
Okay.
You can roll 3.
Cool. All right. Roll that wisdom.
Yep.
So I can
Yeah,
go
Got so many
51.
health boxes.
Mm-hmm.
51 feet in 3 seconds.
Yeah, you
It's
guys got some booking.
All right. So this goes on everyone.
Okay, that's what I figured with the minus on the scale. Cool. So everybody is now able to just at a glance recognize imbued items And then we're definitely limited. Reflexive. Oh, you can take as many reflexive actions in a turn as you want. No.
One.
Yeah.
You
One.
have to focus enough on it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the like, and your particular mage site probably colors it a bit. But there's like, I'm picturing like a halo of supernal symbols, kind of like sunspot, or what's the camera?
Lens flare.
Lens flaring off of the object as you look at it.
I dig it. So yes, quick glance at the Fabergé eggs, since that's where Tritus is looking. They're not imbued, don't appear magical. Actually, a quick imagine at this point, you guys, okay, we need to start moving, making your way. The whole bottom level, like as you're moving past stuff, none of this is imbued, none of it is magical, which immediately you're going, yeah, no duh.
This is where they put the neat things that don't actually do anything.
Right. So your quick feet, aided by Weird's spell, basically takes you to this first tunnel. It is smooth, like eerily, unnaturally. Well, I guess maybe with enough water and erosion, but it is, a very smooth wall, no handholds, that leads upward.
It's not where it can just reverse gravity too.
Good 20, 30 feet. There are so many ways to fix this.
Do shaping to give us handholds?
Possibility.
I was thinking of the scale on that.
I mean, if you're doing this tunnel, yeah, because what's the basic scale here? Roll 20, get back here. Where's that handy dandy? I'm so glad I made the spellcasting template, and I'm glad I put scale in here. So at regular standard scale, probably -4, a large room, but obviously with advanced scale, with large house, you definitely have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then we also still have bonus athletics for climbing.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And bonus speed will actually factor into that too, because you guys are just moving fast across space.
God, I haven't touched it in a long time.
Space is shorter.
Yep.
I have it as a rote. Yeah.
Cool.
Um,
What skill is it tied to?
Persuasion.
Okay.
Convincing the stone to change.
Yeah.
Will shaping.
Basically. Reach, I need it instant. I'm gonna take minuses for scale. Or well, I'll take a 1 for scale.
Okay.
And I need 1 for stone.
Yeah, for solids. Mm-hmm.
And duration. I'll take a -2 for duration.
Okay.
So I need 3, I have 3.
And just to be clear, this is all going to be one scene in terms for paradox. That wasn't obvious.
-4 for scale, you said?
Yeah, on standard scale, -4 or 1 reach for advanced.
Briantras, I'm going to use my Atlantean Soulstone and my hammer.
Okay. Just to be up front with you guys, I am tracking the number of turns that are passing.
Yeah, so I don't want to use too many. I might just use my Soulstone to get it done in 1 turn. And I'll throw willpower at it.
I just realized I should have notepad so I can actually physically keep track instead of trying to do this in my head.
So it's 9 plus 6 minus 6. So 9. Oh, what actually is my persuasion? 3. Okay, it's the same.
If you're casting as a rote, you should have.
You cut out your didn't see any
Or
of that.
reach, right?
If it's a road, it's as if you had Gnosis 5 or your Arcana was 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one more reach.
Vaping is
It's
2
fine.
dot. Yeah.
Okay,
I
we
mean-
can just say I took advanced duration instead of a -2, so I'll roll 2 more.
Okay.
Oh, one more success.
Cool.
That's 5.
Hooray.
All right.
Uh,
Good.
Yeah, I would want a condition to help me scale this,
Sure. Yeah.
or to make them like something to help us climb, like to make them really good handholds.
Yeah, this isn't just divots. These are nice and curved, and so you have like a bar or something. Yeah. Okay. I dig it. That precision level of stuff. I was going to make you do wits plus crafts, but we'll take that as the condition and call that good.
Yeah.
Cool. How many entrees was that? Just one?
Just one.
Cool. So yeah, with that, just like, and is it one path or do you just like pockmark the entire vertical tunnel?
I would just do the whole thing because
Okay.
scale's covering the whole thing.
Yeah, which also means notably all three of you are
We
climbing.
can go up at once.
Cool. So everybody
Clim.
roll strength plus athletics. And we're going to apply that bonus instead of just being for Atratus. It'll just be to everybody because it's affecting the walls. I dig it.
It's a +2.
2. Mm-hmm.
Essentially turned her condition into an equipment bonus.
Yep. And notably, as you are climbing and the walls have shifted, it definitely like is more narrative
We
than
had rolled
actual mechanical.
space.
Hmm?
Also,
What was that?
I was confused.
No.
Weird. Accidentally rolled
Stupid
space. Also, I thought that was mine at
God
first. I'm like, I don't
damn it.
have space.
Yeah, just go ahead and re-roll them 8 dice. But yeah, the stone is very amenable to be changing, and it feels very just like compared to the objects that you have changed in the fallen world and the phenomenal world. This stuff naturally is like, oh yeah, no, change, sure, no problem, no big deal. And not quite, you're having that conversation with Stick, and Stick is like, yes, I will totally turn into fire.
Of course.
Cool. So we're re-rolls with 4 less dice and still gets that success. So all right. And actually without even the bonus 2 dice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So regardless, you just need the 1. And so the 3 of you, Spider-Man your way up. And just scurry to the second level, which is more stone laid out. And as you kind of pull yourself up into this tunnel, because the tunnel does not continue upward. The next upward tunnel is basically the other side of this place. Is like this is very classic. This is very classic labyrinthine, ways to deter people. I think for dramatic effect, Songbird pulls up and is looking up at, though probably not surprised because Inward Outward Eye says Songbird saw this coming. There is a massive, what would it look like? A stone soldier, terracotta soldier, kind of figure that is just patrolling and moving back and forth across the opening, ready to take on all comers. Let's get a Gnosis plus matter from Atratus, please, as it clashes with
That's
your machine
fantastic.
invisibility.
So many willpowers. Use another willpower.
Sure.
Where did
Professor
it go?
Rook says they're imagining a Mogu.
Yeah.
7.
Holy moly.
Fuck you.
Nice.
So, yeah, Songbird, as you kind of like, and I'm imagining that I'm the fucking adamantine arrow. I'll go first. I'll see. It doesn't see me. Okay, we're good.
There's
here.
like 1 second where I'm like, shit, and then just like keeps walking. I'm like, oh, right. Forgot she did that.
I'm not invisible. I'm just invisible to that thing.
that.
Yep. So very quickly, you guys get up. I think it probably takes you about 2 turns to actually move that distance and basically mantle up onto that second level. Here, the stone is less done up as a natural cave and more of like somebody has come through and mined it. There are some, big wood beam kind of supports that look absolutely unnecessary, but it really makes that aesthetic. There's a couple, actually, I don't think there's a couple. I think there's definitely some tracks along the ground that would be for like a mine cart or something that looks like it would have walked right up to the pit or the tunnel down, whatever you want to say. And in spaces that have been kind of carved out in not quite rooms, but little like offshoots. There's no big caverns so much as this kind of weaving, almost aisle-like setup and crisscrosses are little displays set up, and these are actually sitting on like not just carved plinth, stones or anything like that, but like some of them have actual tables that are set out. There is, and probably the first imbued item that you guys see appears to be like a nice solid table with a set of 3 Japanese swords, your katana, and, like a tanto blade or something like that. All 3 and the scabbards and stand are all imbued as you guys are kind of.
Do they have a placard saying what they do?
Yeah, if you want to, walk over and, well, I guess you don't technically need to walk over, but if you want to focus on it as you walk by. Well, okay, they don't tell you what they do, but yes, they they are from
Nobunaga?
That's the one. Taken from his armory and replaced, replaced the originals. These are the originals. Put fakes in. I'll get there eventually. And Detritus has that moment of, yes, classic Mysterium move. Shush, Perry. Keenly sharp, unerring, but doesn't give you like the supernal formula, but it definitely sounds like either these were made or became this way. Actually, I think with our
spell.
Yeah, you do know they are imbued, or rather not imbued, enhanced. But that describes the swords. However, the scabbards and the rack that they're on appear to be other spells, but that are not described on the thing. If you want to do
what the rack does.
All right, wits plus composure. Yeah, so that appears to anybody who moves the objects on said rack going to suffer some gnarly hexes.
Anti-thief racks.
Ooh, don't touch it.
Cool.
Good thing I don't super care about swords.
but cool.
It's cool.
Moving beyond that, and
my people made better swords.
Oh boy, we're gonna get into Vikings versus samurai katana. Okay,
don't start the weeb
whatever, man.
fight.
If you want to be a katana waifu person, then that's fine. You can just be wrong.
We're not gonna start the weeb fight.
The next, because I imagine you guys are beelining, or are you looking for specific objects? Because
I'm just trying to keep my eyes open as we walk past to see if anything that might be of interest to me shows up.
Because here's the thing, like I said, this crisscrosses. There's more or less, and there are 3 tunnels, upward tunnels. I gotta remember I have only this much camera. And from where you are, they're all equidistant, but would require different paths through. So if you want
going towards whichever one will take us to the grimoire soon.
I mean, they all lead to that next level up.
The middle one.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, if you're focusing on get to the middle one and just go, then yeah. Otherwise, if you want to like deviate, because like I said, they're equidistant. It's just all which path you're going to zigzag through would pass you by different objects. But yeah, if you're keeping as a group and heading forward, so you pass by the swords. Then I'm trying to remember what else. I wrote up some stuff. Next is like a object of. It is oh my god, what are they called? A bust. There we go. And it can't, like, it's not a recognizable face, but it definitely has some age on it. Likely Greek, Roman, height, kind of stuff. It's not Michelangelo level. Not that Michelangelo was Greek or Roman. I know. But it's not like, this superior craftsmanship. It's kind of on the rough side. But as you kind of just glance by and read over the write-up, it was sculpted by an unknown sculptor and basically depicts his wife, lover, question mark. And the found in Pompeii. Yeah, and so that's the little quick write-up. I'm obviously paraphrasing. It's considerably more, museum level of description, but we don't want to be here all day for that. And it is, like I said, I'm only going to point out the imbued items. There's other bits of art here and there, but yeah,
looking at it through my sights, do I see anything?
Yeah, it appears to be just of some really worn marble. Now, if you want to go ahead and do the little wits plus composure and be like, hey, what the hell does this thing actually do?
Yeah, I want to try and see. Because I am interested in a Greek bust.
Yep. Not like I had have a couple things for everybody, right? One success. Okay. So using the item basically allows one to cast a to paraphrase because it doesn't match up to an exact spell, but basically you can play with somebody's emotions by basically pointing it at them and kind of willing it. You're not sure what the key is, but using it can mess with somebody's emotions, heightening them, dampening them, something of those nature. But it definitely appears to be useful. I think I will go so far as to tell you it definitely has the vibe of like, yeah, I can, work this on an entire room full of people. Yeah, I think that's it. What was this?
Just as I'm going through, if anything catches my eye.
Yep. Well, yeah, the 9 again doesn't matter. You got the 1 success anyways. Because you're not like
2 successes. Yeah, right. I'm not taking my time.
Yep. But I mean, are you talking about deviating off the path everybody else is on, or okay?
No.
Yeah. So yeah, in that case, basically the next thing along the way that really catches everybody's eye. And like I said, there's mixes of art plus imbued objects. The next one is a absolutely astounding like painting of kind of a naval war scene, huge ships rising up out of the sea, cannon fire, smoke, big heavy masts, very very age of sail, I think is the term. Kind of just absolute, and definitely know like wits plus composure to exactly see what this. Well, you may need to, but definitely looking at it, there is additional sensory data that you are getting from it. You can smell salt, you can smell gunpowder, you can hear, and it's not like very blatant. It's just on the edge of, you know, what you can sense.
This is really cool.
I mean, there's everything in here is really cool or really terrible. We'll get to that stuff. Yeah. Cool. If
Craig is
Do
really
I know
tempted,
what this does?
but Weird's not.
So Tritus, as you walk by, this one it actually seems very similar to the previous, in the fact that well, I wouldn't tell you what the Arcana is, but you definitely get the sense of this messes with. It is capable of, we'll say, projecting false scenes that are super immersive. Considering the time, age, and stuff like that, it's like, hang on, shit, is this early VR kind of thing? But it without like delving into it, because you only get the what is it used for. Yeah, that's the view of it.
These are all very neat things, but we have been given our warning, so I'm trying to save it for something really
Save
good.
it for something really good.
Really good, yeah. It's like that. Super cool. It's a shame you've done this. But
moving along. Let's see here, keeping track. Yeah. Cool. So remind me real quick, what's everybody's peripheral mage sight feel like?
Trying to remember.
I remember yours was smelling dead things, and you realized that was fucking terrible because you didn't want to do that every time.
I don't like
magic.
that. Yeah. I was going for like whispers in your ears and prickles in the back of your neck when you encounter a ghost.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about everybody else? I think
It was like the little laughing of fairies.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm trying to remember.
Mine's like,
was it war drums? Was it?
Yeah.
That's like the back of, that's like my Nimbus and
right,
stuff.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
The passive mage side I think was just like,
it was like the sound of a battle.
Like a flat. No, that's like from my Nimbus, not from my passive mage side. I think it was just like a flash of like a rune, like more or less like.
Do you have a Brimo Spidey sense?
It's not necessarily spider sense. Maybe like almost kind of like from. Songbird is not like a fucking video game nerd, but like
get an
that
exclamation point on your head.
The video game effect where like maybe you like, you know, your vision gets brighter on one side if they're trying to draw your attention to it, or like that moment on the battlefield where you like snap, you're like, oh, that's where I need to be looking to like meet eyes with, you know, your next opponent or something like that.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So that all goes off. Kind of, and I think Atratus especially, you feel it real bad across your spine because whatever it is back behind you down the way you came, looking back towards that construct. Righto. That is 10 turns that has gone by as you guys have basically been sprinting and going, what's that? Okay, what's that? And just moving.
Okay, we're now
Time
in a race.
to pick up the pace.
Yep, let's go.
Okay. So are we saying, fuck these things, we can look later? Or, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. In that case, you guys, fuck all this and just like lean into the sprint and make your way over to the next tunnel upward.
I can let us climb, or Songbird, you can send us up quicker.
It's flying. Yep.
Yeah. Chase music.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me, I've definitely thought about trying to set up some music, but DMCA stuff.
How much do we have to climb before?
It's
it was
about
like 30 feet. Yeah.
Okay, and it's like it looks to be similar here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same tunnel type.
Mm-hmm.
But rather than spend 3 turns doing it, you can do it in 1, right?
Okay. Real quick, just to pause you, Chris, because it may be relevant. Can you go ahead and do? Are you doing forces?
Huh?
Sorry, hang on. I have roll 20 pulled up, which means I can't see you. Was that a nod? Okay, yeah. Go ahead and do Gnosis plus forces. When your spell is going to be somebody's going to be attempting to counterspell you.
Oh, cool. Well, this is to roll the spell.
Okay, you can do that too if you've already got it worked out. Okay.
So, in what I do, we see anything?
Not currently. Oh, this will be close. Okay, cool. Yeah, because bear in mind, I'm having to play with inward, outward eye. You're looking at a lot of stuff.
It's too much to take in all at once,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, from your perspective, actually, because Songbird is concentrating on the spell, which goes off. So remind me to come back to that. But for Weird, as you're kind of like keeping an eye out, go ahead and do Wits plus Composure. That at -5.
Oh, did the 90 thing is.
Baby.
Layla.
1 success.
Cool. So yeah, as basically you're letting. Because Songbird's doing this in 1 turn, but you're standing there waiting. Well, actually, probably not waiting, because Songbird's probably casting this on the fly.
Jump.
Literally, yeah. Go! And unfortunately, you're just, like, there's no pit below you. So, but yeah,
Right.
Weird looking through. You can see Mr. Suit, or at least someone who looks like it, standing back towards where you came through at the pyramid. His eyes are just kind of closed. He's got that kind of annoyed face, and annoyed expression. And just as Songbird's spell goes off, which you kind of feel with peripheral mage sight, you watch as Mr. Suit's hand just kind of flicks out in a very dismissive motion, and then makes an even more annoyed face, and all of a sudden you feel a little bit lighter. Which spell were you casting, Chris?
Levitation.
Okay, yeah, so you have control over it, and I think you move at your speed. Or is it based on potency?
I think it's based on potency. I'm controlling everyone.
May direct as an instant action, remains floating, remains momentum. Oh, yeah, equal to potency is the first fucking line. Okay, cool. So, actually, that calls back to your
Would Ground Eater affect that?
No. Because that would be the speed that you have. Actually, because it's the +1 reach for levitation that I was thinking of, because that's the one that lets you actually like fly,
right.
And that has a shit ton of speed.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot it was a reach effect, so you can throw some paradox at me.
Sure. Which
3
2,
+1.
Yeah, 4. Yep. Oof. 2 more. It's all right. Got plenty of space on that health bar for more bashing wounds.
It's fine.
Cool. So yeah, so that makes everybody's speed 7, 8? No, 7, because you have 6 gnosis. Cool. So yeah, you're slowed down a little bit.
Normal walking speed, but you just fly.
Yep.
So it only takes a couple seconds.
Yep. Couple seconds. Another turn passes by as you guys just elevate right up to 30 feet. It's no big deal. And I imagine everybody's like, and back on the ground where I run faster instead of flying.
Mhm.
And
that spell's gone.
Okay, and just dismiss it immediately. Yep. Cool.
I didn't even take the advanced duration. It was just
literally for the couple turns.
Long enough to get us up here.
Yep. Cool. So here, like I said before,
as we're running, I'm going to say suits at the door.
I like mentally go through my spell control.
Mm-hmm.
Is that spell still? Interesting.
Notably, and especially like if you take the moment to like look at Mr. Shoot at the door,
Different one.
doesn't appear to have the spell on him.
Okay.
We've met these guys before.
Clone or a copy, yeah.
Hive souls.
Maybe.
Or just being a meat puppet.
Who knows? We'll worry about that later.
we are currently running, which as described before, this upper level it's cozy almost until you remember, oh right, this is a Seer Archmage. This level, everything that is on display is an imbued item. Well, I keep saying imbued. It is a magical item. We'll use that term. Immediately at the top level, actually go ahead and roll Gnosis plus Matter again. Ash, if you would be so kind. There's another one of these big terracotta warriors.
I have 2 more willpower.
You are welcome to use it, should you wish.
I'm gonna.
All right.
Eight successes.
Holy moly. Okay.
I'm very good at seeing and not being seen.
Well, got wrecked. 8 successes versus 5. Yeah, and again, this construct just continues to move back and forth, patrolling. Doesn't seem to lay eyes on you. Okay, right. So the third level is laid out less labyrinthine and more not quite like a home, but you have some larger chambers, smaller chambers. They all contain various different sets of objects. Without having like actual look at them, you're not sure how they're all connected. There is obviously in the center, which you will have to go all the way down and around to a set of double doors, is the massive library that you're able to view into, that has that big seal that don't like looking at that. But yeah, various different off rooms. Some of them actually appear to be like sitting rooms. There's one that is most definitely a bed chamber, and it has a bed in it, and a wardrobe and stuff like that. And all those objects are also magical. Actually, what is the goal here?
So at this point, we don't have time to go looking for side rooms, right?
No.
So we're just trying to get to the library as quickly as possible.
Yep.
I am highly interested in this magic furniture, but I don't have time.
As you guys are making your way forward, I'm trying to, if there's a obvious distinction between two different tunnels. Probably not, so I imagine you just dead ahead and start booking it. There is a snap of peripheral mage sight, and actually, Craig, your active mage sight sees a co-locate kind of overlapping.
Can I counterspell?
Because you're not actually. Let's double check the book. Actually, that's true. Because you can see the guy. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
I mean, he just did it to me, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, because I was thinking, oh, you're seeing the co-locate happen, but
What's composure space?
Oh, stupid.
All the dice.
Okay, let me try that again. I'm terrible for that. Sorry. One success.
That's quite all right. Oh boy. Yeah, Gnosis plus space. Right? Yep. All right, so let me double check. I think we roll off, but let me double check and see what it says about ties. The Clash of Wills. Okay, yeah, it's a Clash of Wills, which means we would reroll. And you get to go ahead and roll 3 dice because the willpower is still there. All right, didn't matter.
Hey, you win.
Yep, still win.
Fuck that spell.
So yeah, the co-locate starts to form in the hallway in front of you, which probably not great. Whatever. Yeah, and in the time that it takes you to just no. None of that. You guys run through that space. Oops, where's my thing here? And bypassing rooms that have objects. Some of the objects look up to see as you run by. Some of the objects rattle and shake. Compared to the room below, which had, decorative stuff that looked very kind of casual. This stuff looks intimidating, terrifying, very interesting, beautiful. This is the shit.
I want to think.
I want to stay.
Hauling ass down, coming around, and then there is a big set of double doors that are open wide to the nice, cozy library. There is even a fire in a fireplace that is not setting off.
The spells going on because
sure.
I'm fucking going in.
The spells that you see here is the ever present. Let's do Gnosis plus Prime real quick. But yeah, you definitely see the ever present pocket dimension that is just everywhere here. You also see the spell that has basically is keeping a fire burning in the fireplace without actually converting oxygen to CO2. It's just fire sitting there doing fire things.
Oh yeah, fire things.
Cool. Cool. And then chair and bookshelves, which I'll be honest is again, hey, you want to tell where my inspiration comes from? Big metal like racks, very Doctor Strange. Slide them out, and here are these. Some of them are books, some of them are tightly sealed up scrolls. Some of them are more esoteric types of items. There's actually one in there that is doesn't immediately trigger as a grimoire, but it has this whole it's just a page of directions. Again, you're just glancing without reading stuff. And actually, Weird is the one who can actually tell for sure. Oops. Hey, Conka, I need to remember what that grimoire looks like.
We're also almost out of time. I don't know if we have someone at 10 tonight.
We do. Same
Okay,
guys.
so
Yep.
wrap it up.
I'm wrapping it up, I promise. I can't save, Mom. It's online. Righto. Actually, yeah, we'll leave the. Well, no. Yeah, there is.
Tell us what it looks like.
Yeah, there is a scroll of, and it is just unrolled of just this very pale leather, with this kind of dark brownish red, ink.
Don't like that.
So, yep. So thank you all for joining us. The last grimoire is quote unquote found. As always, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. It's super cool to have you, especially as we have new subscribers, we have new people finding the show. It's super cool. It absolutely blows me away. In case you have missed it, yes, we are looking for new players for the next Chronicle. When this Chronicle eventually ends, we don't have a dead due date or anything like that, but we are looking for that. So check out Twitter, check out Discord. We've got some information out there. Come by Discord, eatinto.space. Come by Patreon, patreon.com/occultistanonymous, or staylucky.club. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
Stay lucky.
Thank you, Layla.